Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for daily video number 891, and it's a Monday, which means it's news roundup time, talking about all of the news headlines that came up in the week for the Transformers brand. And are you ready for a weird one? We didn't get any new toys, we didn't get a whole lot of official news, but we're going to get a lot of oddball stories, so brace yourselves. And we're going to start with, I guess what we're going to be starting with for a while now, the update on Omega Prime and the new Haslab project. They have already unlocked Tier 1. The Matrix Blade will officially be coming with your Omega Primes, which is awesome to see. It's a 2-foot-long accessory. It is not retooled or repainted from the one that Takara released with Titan Fortress Maximus. It is a brand new piece designed for Omega Prime, and it's kind of absurd. This is kind of amazing how quickly this one, it is very quickly reaching all of its goals, to the point where I feel like Hasbro's gonna have to throw in a third tier, even if they weren't planning one. My bet would be minifigures of Tai and Koji, just to put a bet out there. I really have no idea, but it definitely feels like they're going to hit Tier 2 so quickly. They're going to have to throw in a third tier just to get more people in on this set. But it's already a success. Transformers is officially 4 for 4 when it comes to these Haslabs, so congrats. We're all going to be eating good whenever this actually drops. But let's get into something that's easier to buy. For starters, we do have some new listings, but they are not for Hasbro-backed products. This is for the Mattel and Hasbro crossover to do Transformer-themed Hot Wheels toys, which is still kind of mind-blowing that Hasbro and Mattel are actually working together on a few projects. The disappointing thing is in the listings themselves. So when you read it, some of it sounds kind of exciting. You know, there's a Volkswagen Classic Bug in there, so a Hot Wheels Bumblebee. The trick is you realize that a lot of these are just going to be normal-looking cars. Like, yellow was a normal color for the Volkswagen Beetle. It's not really, like, Transformers exclusive or anything. So that's one thing to consider. And then you look at the other models that are available in this the assortment: 60s Fiat 500D, 1967 Austin minivan. Like, these are not Transformer models. 1932 Ford. I don't know any Transformer with that design outside of maybe a laser rod. But it's not something that, like, it's not what I expected. You know, I expected like little diecast versions of Autobots, basically. No, this is starting to sound like it's going to be one of their licensed, like, branded vehicle things, like when they just paint He-Man's face on the side of a van and go, hey, here's a He-Man toy. I don't know, this is looking like it's going to be far more disappointing, but I don't know, it's in tradition with what Hot Wheels does with its licenses, so I don't know. The release date is in April, so it's probably not going to be too long before we actually see these. Brace yourselves, I'm expecting disappointment. Let's get into some new photos for the week. Nothing terribly exciting this week, no huge new reveals. We do have a very nice gallery of the upcoming Voyager class Silverbolt, however. I've gotten so many of the premium finish Kingdom figures now that this is starting to look a little bit dull to me, and I'm also kind of wondering, should I hold back? Because if they do Quick Strike, they'll do another 2-pack. But for now, we're going to assume this is the Silverbolt, and even then, it still looks really, really nice. I mean, there's a lot of show-accurate detail going on here that I really approve of. Definitely looks highly articulate. I don't know why they chose a rider kick pose, but they did. The forearms don't have the little bones. The cool, like, my favorite hidden detail of any Transformer is the fact that if you look at the original Silverbolt and the inside of his hollowed out forearms, the shape that is in the internal plastic is shaped like a dog bone. I think it's amazing. I'm disappointed it's not here. But point being, it is still very nicely done. Really good show accurate rendering of Silverbolt. Love the fact that his wings are so much more versatile than the original toy. Scales really nice with Black Arachnia. There's no real info. This is one of the behind-the-scenes blurbs from Mark, but it really doesn't tell me anything new about the toy, unfortunately. It's really just showing me how good it scales to Black Arachnia, which, you know, is kind of an important detail. Beast mode looks great. You got some airbrushing on it, as well as, like, the feathers themselves look really, really good, too. It just looks like it's going to be a really, really nice figure. Okay, funny photo. Good one, funny photo. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this one, and really excited to see where they go from here as far as, like, Beast Wars go, because now they've covered quite a bit of ground, and really, like, Tarantulas is the only one that's, or not Tarantula, it's a Quick Strike, is the only one they can do now that's not a Transmetal, because they still don't know how to do Transmetals. Hopefully we see news on that soon. Let's see. We also have behind-the-scenes stuff for Sandstorm. Still really think this looks fantastic. Now, when you see the underside of that helicopter, okay, now I can absolutely see where the dune buggy's hiding. That's pretty typical of any kind of aerial transformer, though. The underside's always going to look ugly. I still think this is one of the best looking triple changers they've done, especially in, especially being aware of how the Generation 1 toy is designed. Like, I think it's pretty spot on. Look at this. Nice looking helicopter. Admittedly, I think the way they handle the blades is a little ugly. That's just me. Probably not just me. I think the blades look ugly. But then look at the dune buggy. Oh, look at that. Boom, boom. These are the same toy. Boom, boom. Same toy. That's crazy. It's a really well done triple changer. Nicely sized, too. The one bit of pertinent info that we actually got out of this post was the fact that, yes, all of the wheels on Sandstorm are actually going to be rubber. So just like Beachcomber, he's going to roll real well. Pinned wheels as well, not mushroom pegged. So again, when they're doing these, I guess it's just something about dune buggies, man. They just want to make sure the dune buggies have some nice roll to them. Odd choice, but you know what? Whatever. Still looks fantastic. This is, like, I'm a low-tier character or whatever. I don't care. Just as a toy, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to mess with. We also have the official stock photos for the upcoming Gamer Edition Sideswipe, which, you know what? Okay, it's still looking about the same. This is probably the last time I'm going to talk about this, even once it's in hand, because at this point I think we've seen all the photos we possibly can of it. I definitely have my reservations, the flat, like, surfboard feet especially, but the rest of it does look somewhat better than some of the others. I mean, I definitely like the look of it more than Bumblebee. It definitely looks like it's going to function a little bit better than Barricade. This line is just, there's so much potential in this line, but there's so much of the design work that feels like an afterthought. Like, I really do like a lot of what they're doing. Like, the vehicle mode looks sick. I love how the vehicle mode looks. I like that they're finally doing the guns the way they should have from the start, with the option of a 5mm post. But man, I'm so scared now. The results of some of those Gamer Edition figures have me so scared for how these are going to turn out. But cross your fingers, we're going to find out together. Looking at some others, going into the partners for Hasbro, we see some of those MDLX figures from 3.0. These are the anime accurate ones, the G1 cartoon colors that we reported on, I believe, just last week. So the first round of these is going to be available at TFCon LA, and it makes me sad. And, like, I've seen so many updates from TFCon LA now with different VAs who are going, and I'm like, I'm really sad. Like, a few days ago, I officially canceled my hotel reservation. Like any chance I had of, like, worming in a way of going at the last minute were officially done. So, yeah. I hope all my friends have fun. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe next round of TFCon, like maybe next time they're in Florida or something, I'll end up going. But it's tough to think about TFCon right now. But these are actually a little bit, these are actually better than expected than I thought. Like, they're just repaints of the previous figures, but they actually do a pretty decent job. The Bumblebee head looks a little bit weird, but I think it's doing as good of a job as it can without any retooling. I mean, it definitely looks a lot nicer as a Bumblebee than I think the original one did. It captures the vibe of the character a little bit better. Yeah, but we've seen these. We've talked about these in the past. Megatron is kind of defying the animation edition by including the scribble on the chest, but I do think it's a good way of making it stand out from the previous release. And again, sculpt looks really good, paintwork looks really good. I expect no less of 3-0. And just overall, yeah, it's a nice, interesting vibe. It's a nice, interesting change from the previous ones that are more darker in color tones and a little bit more gritty in feel. Great alternative. Great alternative. And then we get into the Optimus Prime, where you can also see that they have done kind of an anime gloss to the windshield, which is also a great little touch to separate these out. And again, taking away the more metallic tones and the weathering to give you just like straight up cartoon accurate, bright red, bright blue, bright gray. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm looking at, like, I can look at mine up there. And yeah, like the gunmetal's gone, the silver's gone, the colors are way more vivid. It's just a different flavor. I like when they bring in a different flavor on these. So for those interested, yeah, TFCon LA is going to be the first round of them, but after that, I assume every online retailer is going to have them too. For Free Comic Book Day, Skybound has announced a brand new special for their Energon universe, a little bit of bonus story to the current Skybound Transformers comics. The comics are so good that I am not going to disrespect them by showing you any of the internal pages or hints. We're just going to show you, yeah, the Skuxoid is on the cover, along with the alien that DevCon befriended in the Gambler. And there is a shot of Optimus and Megatron battling in space. It's also a very cool shot. So I'm not going to show you the two internal pieces of art because there is a bit of a spoiler in there. But yeah, Energon Universe continues to just nail it. I'm kind of excited to see like where this slots into the story. eHobby's doing more of their weird acrylic things, and this time they're going to Unicron Trilogy. Well, in Japan, it's not Unicron Trilogy, but it's what we call it. They're going into the mid-2000s for these logos. So it is acrylic stands for Superlink and Galaxy Force. I've never been terribly interested in things like this. Like, it just, like, okay, it's just like a logo. It's just a stand of the logo. Why is that interesting to me? But it's Galaxy Force. I really, really like Galaxy Force. Oh, they're hard. They might be hard to get in the U.S., but maybe. Something a little bit easier to get in the U.S. Icon Heroes is releasing a new set of pins, and this time it is the Constructicons based on their G1 box art, complete with the back side of the art. The big splash of all the combiners and city bots fighting. Always love that shot. But yeah, it's just basically the box art for all the Constructicons turned into individual pins and then Devastator included. I think it's a cool idea to include like the entire set of 7. You know, so you have all of your Constructicon bases covered. Really cool look. Really, really cool set of pins. Like, if I had a con bag and I just wanted it to be Devastator stuff, like, I just line this bag with these pins. It was Devastator in the middle. So, not too bad, not too bad. Again, pin collecting not my thing, but I know people who are. Shouldn't be too bad of a set for those who are into it. Lorenzo de Bonaventura opened his mouth again, which means stupid came out. So he was asked while doing an interview for his latest film, Madam Web. That should tell you the kind of batting average this man is running on movies right now. He was asked about the upcoming Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. I think enough time has come since Rise of the Beast came out to just say, yeah, there's a G.I. Joe spoiler at the end. They're trying to tease a crossover here. And the statement is, basically the only thing that's worth stating here is his quote, "The honest truth is, I don't know. I know we are going to deliver on the promise we made. Well, if you don't know, then you can't promise anything. That's the trick. So we know that Rise of the Beast did not perform very well. I don't think we got an official response about how the studio felt about the performance. Needless to say, I will say once again, they learned absolutely nothing from the Bumblebee movie, went back to the Michael Bay way of doing things, and got Michael Bay results. So that's the unfortunate news about it. And considering De Bonaventura is now coming off of Madam Web, another critical and marketing failure, I would not be surprised. Like I'm really just like screaming into the void right now. Why is this man still the producer of this franchise? Why is this man still in charge when he has so many failures? But we'll see. Transformers 1 might make or break this film franchise. We're getting that later this year. Still nothing concrete on that one outside of the cast list, so we'll see how it goes. Right now, I don't have much confidence in seeing another live-action Transformers movie to follow up on this. The same as, we never got the conclusion to that Unicron teaser. Right now, I'm doubtful we'll get a conclusion to that G.I. Joe teaser. Prove me wrong, Bonaventura. Be a first. In Japan, there is a online shop, EEO, that is doing a Beast Wars lottery, which means you buy some tickets and you get a chance to win some exclusive Beast Wars merch. We have a tumbler decked out with the Maximal logo, tote bag, miniatures, like little acrylic keychains, buttons, and the interesting thing here is the fact that this is a Japanese giveaway, but it's using all the English names. Rat Trap was not Rat Trap in Japan. He was Rattle. Cheetor was Cheetahs. Things like that. So the fact that they're going with the American names is kind of interesting to me. There's also a coaster set you can win as well. There's different odds to different things. So, it's nothing that any of us in the U.S. are likely going to get. But if you're living in Japan, you got a shot at something kind of hard to come by. Other weirdness this week. So there's an Autobot versus Decepticon wall clock designed by Brandford Exchange. This is one of those companies that produces high-end stuff that very few people are going to want, because much of a Transformer fan as I am, this is like a gaudy nightmare that I would not want to tell time by. I'm just saying. There's a limit to even me, but there are people who will buy just about anything Transformer-based. So yeah, big wall clock. I will admit, like, the sculpting work on the characters is all really, really nice. Everyone looks appropriate. Starscream looks a little bit weird in the face now that I look at him too hard. He looks like he's got a mustache sculpted in. But you know what? Okay, fair. Like, okay, there are some people who will buy just about anything Transformer, so you have a wall clock now to further decorate your world. That does bring us to our last story for the week. A new Guinness Book of World Records for Transformers memorabilia now exists. The previous record was held by A.J. Ard with 5150 unique items. The new record is held by Mike K. of San Diego, California, which has 10,568 items. I think the important thing to note here is, like, I'm almost reasonably sure there's people who have more than this. I just don't think they advertise it. But yeah, like, anytime I think my collection's out of control, take a look. Just looking at this guy's initial photo here, like, he's basically just showing, like, the photo on the right is just like, here's all the sealed stuff I own. Okay, fine. Good work. The stuff on the left, look, he's got multiple lucky draws. He's got, like, okay, the Unicron, here's the thing. Look at this photo. Looking at this photo. Yeah. Like, sealed, like, plexiglass sealed bots. He's got G2 Stunticons in there. He looks like he's got the, like, limited release, like, G2 Megatron. Yeah, multiple sealed Optimus Primes. Look at the lucky draws in the back. Look at the lucky draws in the back. Most collectors would think it would be ecstatic to own one, and this guy's got a pile of them. I'm I would almost wager Unicron is not the most valuable item in this shot. I don't even think it might be like in the top 10 of how expensive this is. The man has multiple G2 Stunticons on card. Jeez, I would sell half my collection just to own one. Maybe not really. But no, it's insane the depths that some people go to for this franchise. And it's kind of one reason why I love it so much. So, there you go. There is your news for the week. Nothing terribly interesting going on. It's just a lot of weird stories. But sometimes that makes the more interesting ones. So, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.